Hello everyone, welcome to episode 36 of Music is None of Our Business. So I've got the episode number right, and I remember the title of our own podcast this week. So that's a good start.
A good start indeed.
And we are talking this week about songs with weathery references in the weathery, because I don't know whether some of mine might be kind of a bit. I think mine come under that banner.
Are you skirting around the edges again?
No,
it's a very simple
no.
project. This one,
I know it is. I know. Yeah, I found it quite difficult to start with, and then all of a sudden, I just sat and went through a load of albums that I liked and thought, I wonder if there's anyone, and tried to get bands we hadn't mentioned before.
Yeah.
Although I am well aware that we are going to start duplicating a bit more often because it's impossible not
Indeed.
to. You know,
unless you're buying
it's impossible
brand
not
new
to.
records by different bands every week, it would be difficult.
Well, I listen to brand new music by brand new bands every week. I try to, and this week I did an Insta post on Tara Clerkin Trio, who released their second LP. It's really good. I think it's right up your street. It's kind of jazzy, ambient-y, electronic, droney. It's proper bonkers. Bits that sound like Young Marble Giants. Bits that sound like, as I put it in the Instagram. Huh? What? It's really good. Yeah, I think you'd enjoy it. And ironically, us doing weather related, what the fucking weather in Britain at the moment is just ridiculous.
It's been a bit all over the place, hasn't it? It's like you don't know what to put on in the mornings. I think I've changed my clothes 3 times today based on the fact that it was pouring with rain and cold, and then it was gloriously sunny and warm, and then it just got windy and cold again. It's
been pissing down. It's been pissing down here.
What, all day?
Most of the day, and now the fucking sun's out because I'm sitting here doing a bloody podcast. Oh dear,
Never mind.
Typical. Yeah, not that I'd be doing anything at this time of night. I'd probably be sitting there with my feet watching the fucking telly. And
have you found your other cat? Or has it come back again yet?
No sign of Claude.
You've not seen or heard anything of her?
Had I caught her on the CCTV last?
No, I don't think so.
I've got a cat cam.
Oh.
And I was looking after my dad because my dad's ill. I'd been to look after him for a couple of days because not because I had to. I just happened to look at the cat cam at about 10 o'clock at night, and the cheeky fucker walked in. Claude walks in, goes and have a nosh of the food, which I can't quite see because I can't get the camera to go down that low. She then disappears for a bit and then left. And I was like, cheeky bastard. Well, so my friend Amanda, my ex-girlfriend from years ago, who lives nearby, looks after the cats when I'm away, said, well, I went in on Sunday morning, there's a huge shit in the litter tray.
Oh dear.
And I was like, fucking. So the cheeky bastard cat, who's been disappeared for weeks, wanders in, has a nosh, does a big shit in the litter tray, fucks up again.
But I hope she hasn't been holding that one in for the last 2 weeks or so.
I don't know. I'm not aware of the size of it because luckily Amanda picked it up and stuck it down the toilet.
God, the things friends do.
Oh yes, I know. Yeah, yes. So that's the latest on the Claude saga.
Right.
Shit,
little bugger.
Cat.
Little bugger.
Yes. Not impressed.
Okay.
Anyway, so down to business. And another hopefully brief 1 hour and 30 minutes. Bam!
Hopefully
Here we
brief.
go. So I might take a bit long because I've got my notes up. Oh, right, here we go. Right, so shall I go first?
If you like, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So my first one, weather-related, is Fog Signalling by Maps and Diagrams.
Oh, right. Don't know it.
Taken from an album they did a few years ago called Tombra.
Okay.
And Maps and Diagrams is a guy called Tim Martin. And he's been releasing music as Maps and Diagrams for quite some time. I think 2003 is the earliest. I think he did singles before that. 2002, 2003. And I discovered him through my love of Static Caravan Records.
Not Static Caravans.
No, the label. You did that. I've mentioned Static Caravans, and you did the same fucking joke.
I don't think I fucking
time.
did.
You are so predictable.
I did. You just imagined
so
it.
Predictable.
Fuck off.
This is how predictable you are. Look, this. I'm having a nap now because you're so predictable.
Rubbish.
So he was originally recorded on Static Caravan Records, and then after a while, started his own label called Cactus Island. And they did these really lovely little 3-inch CDs in little plastic cases. Yeah. Fantastic. And I was ordering, I was working in Peterborough at the time, and I was ordering them from him. And I saw a contact address, and I said, "Are you local?" And to Peterborough, and he said, "Yes, I work in Peterborough." And I said, "Oh, where do you work?" He worked about 100 metres down the road from where I did in Peterborough at the time. So every time I ordered it, he'd just pop it round. He'd pop to reception in the building opposite, leave me. It's fantastic. And every now and again, I'd go down and have a quick chat with him. He's a really lovely bloke. And the music's fantastic. It's everything from, it's kind of electronica, ambient, field recordings, loops, drones. He covers everything. And I think he's released well over. I mean, I'm looking at the Discogs page. He's released well over 40 LPs.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I know. He's quite a busy chap. And I've got a feeling he lives in Whittlesea near Peterborough, which we both know well.
We know Whittlesea. It, yes.
We know Whittlesea, yes. He did anyway. He may have moved. I haven't heard from him in years. Although I do still order. He's now got a label called Hand Stitched Recordings that he releases lots of his own music on still, and a few others. All very ambient, all very lovely. And the packaging, I can't even start to describe the packaging. It's absolutely gorgeous.
You did start.
Okay. I could start describing the packaging, but then I'd have to stop and say that I couldn't describe the packaging because it's so difficult to describe. It's just lovely. It's like little bits of cut up books.
Oh goodness!
All in little kind of tracing paper envelopes, and it's beautifully done. And most of them are released as either a CDR or a cassette.
Okay.
And you can order one or the other, or both if you so wish. They're absolutely gorgeous. I've got a couple over there somewhere. But yeah, if you go to the Hand Stitch, I mean, they sell out immediately. They're limited runs of about 40 or 50 copies, I think.
Okay.
I'm always missing the bloody things. I go, oh God, I meant to. Oh fuck it, gone. Every bloody time.
You'd think if he was making them to order, then doing another couple, if he's got people who are wanting to buy them, would have been sensible. But,
Yeah, but if you're going to do a limited edition of 40, you're going to do a limited edition of 40. There's no point in doing it.
If you're going to set yourself those constraints, then you've got to live by them.
Absolutely. But the music itself is, as I say, is absolutely gorgeous. I just love it. I love listening to it. Lots of it available on streaming sites, so easily accessible. And as I say, his Bandcamp page is full of stuff. I'm pretty sure the Bandcamp page goes back some time, and has things from well before. I've got a compilation of singles he did for Static Caravan, and it's in a cork. It's got a cork sleeve.
Oh wow!
With those ring binder thing. The
swirly ring binder things.
Smiley, yeah. So it's got one of those
binder.
in. So you open it up. Yeah, you open it up. There's the CD, and that is called. What was that called? Hang on, I can't find the bloody thing now, of course. But that was it's got really weird names. All of his stuff's got really weird names and that, which kind of adds to the appeal, really. But yeah, well worth listening. I obviously I picked Fog Signaling because Fog, and it is a lovely track. But I mean, everything he does is well worth a listen. So yes, thoroughly recommended by moi.
Okay,
you'd love it. You should check it out. I think you'd really like it.
It sounds interesting. I like the idea of the unique packaging as well. A bit more thought in the overall article.
Yeah. It really is lovely. I mean, he makes such a good job of them. And if you go on Discogs, as I say, you can see all the they have pictures of everything, and it's just lovely, just really tactile. It's just lovely to get hold of it. Just
turn into some kind of some musical version
just like to touch
of
it.
David Bellamy.
Grab on me greatness. So anyone who isn't born in England, doesn't come from the UK and is now just going, the fuck are they talking about now? David who? Jeepers.
Yeah, it's a difficult one to explain. So
Googling.
You can look that one up yourself.
Yeah. Yes. So there you go. There was my very quick first one.
Okay.
Which is
interesting.
Which is how we should go on.
Yeah, sounds interesting.
Fabulous. Yes.
Okay. The first one I've picked is a John Fox track, and it's Europe After the Rain, which is a wonderful, wonderful piece of music. And John Fox, what are you doing?
Such a mouthful of cold coffee. I didn't realise it was standing there that long.
Gurning away. You had David Bellamy, and now you're gurning away like a gurning person.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not a nice coffee man, as you can tell.
Definitely not. Okay, John Fox, then formerly Dennis Lee, born in Lancashire, and he'd been bashing around in a number of bands before he formed Ultravox, and he was the original singer with Ultravox. Their first three albums, Ultravox with an exclamation mark, Systems of Romance, and Ha Ha Ha, were truly terrific albums, released between 76 and 79. And then in 1980, Fox left the band and embarked on a solo career, leaving Ultravox, the band, in the hands of Midge Ure. Fox's first album, Metamatic.
Midge
Ure. Yeah, I don't know how you can say it. His first album, Metamatic, was about as clinical and austere as you could want. It was like putting your ears into headphones that have been in a freezer for a week. But it did spawn...
I love that LP.
It's a great album. Underpass, No One Driving, great singles. And there's some other great tracks on there. But very much more stark and minimalist than the big synth.
It's synth-tastic.
Synth-tastic, that's appalling. That's appalling. You've been some kind of corny DJ with that kind of wordsmithery. But after Metamatic, his next album in 1981, Europe After the Rain is On, is called The Garden. And this was quite a significant change in style, because gone is the icy tone landscape of Moogs and Korgs, and now he's actually got some warmth and emotion. He's playing an acoustic guitar and piano, and on this track, he's developed a lot more warmth in his vocal. He's no longer the metamatic automaton, and it's a great song. I've always liked this song ever since it came out, but I've got to say right from the outset, I don't like the album. I don't think there's very much else on that album that is particularly not appealing to me anyway.
Agreed.
Yes, but it's a great song, and it really does evoke that feeling of being in Europe, on continental Europe in the summer after rain. Anyway, Fox dropped out of the music industry in 1985.
Does it put you in a bad mood as well because you can't go out and do anything?
No, I think every time I've been on the continent in the summer and there's been a downpour, that song automatically comes to my head, and it's usually quite in a good way. It's quite a nice feeling. As long as it don't pour torrentially all fucking day.
Well, I was thinking more of the UK, more the UK's relationship with rain in the summer.
No, it doesn't. It's like too frequent to be thinking about that.
I've been in this house for 3 fucking weeks now.
Put a rain mac on, for fuck's sake. Yes, you can go out.
Oh man, I hate the. I was talking to someone the other day, and we were talking about things we hate. Wet fucking clothes. I hate wet clothes. I hate getting wet and having to stand in wet clothes.
You not got that problem sorted out yet, then?
No, I mean, for that part, I wear me tennis. But, it's just that, when you caught a downpour and your jeans are wet and sticking to you, and there's water gone down your back of your neck and your fucking shirt's all damp at the back, and just hate being in wet clothes. Really do. Not as much as sand. I hate sand more, but being in wet clothes. Being in wet clothes on a beach would be fucking awful.
I guess it probably would be. You got an imagination there going on for the list of things that you don't like to come up with that. That's quite high up on the list to even get a mention compared to things like falling down onto a broken glass or getting punched by a skinhead or finding out you got leprosy or something.
Well, I've done both of those. So they don't hold any fear for me now. Fallen on glass, full on broken glass, and been punched by a skinhead. So,
and finding out you got leprosy, just curiously enough.
Well, nothing's dropped off yet, so well, I've got a little bit of an itchy patch on my neck, so I don't know.
I don't know if your neck can drop off. Anyway, Fox dropped out of the music industry in '85, and he Fox dropped out. Fox Charleston.
I thought we were going to have a dance section.
Fox became a flapper girl in 1985. Oh dear. He completely dropped out of music because he's got many other talents as well. He's a graphic artist and he's designed a lot of book covers, and he's a photographer who's exhibited as well. But he did come back in '97, and these days he does quite a lot with experimentalist Benji in Fox and the Maths. And that Benj, he's just formed a new band with Vince Clarke and Neil Arthur. From Depeche Mode and Blancmange.
He's got a massive collection of synthesizers, hasn't he? Vintage synthesizers.
Yes, he does.
Synthtastic.
Oh no, not again. You know, saying it over and over again isn't going to.
That's this week's catchphrase.
No, it isn't. Not for me.
Okay. Wow.
Anyway,
someone's had a sense of humour bypass in the 2 weeks since we last recorded.
Fantastic. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, that's it. It's a great song. I'm not a great fan of his latter work. He does some ambient stuff, but there are a lot of other people doing ambient better, I think. And all fair play to him. I mean, he's a trooper and he's done some wonderful work in the past. It's just not somebody that I've followed. You Were Part of the Rain is a great song.
I liked his Cathedral Oceans.
Even
CDs.
that, I mean, it's okay. But as ambient music goes, it just seems to lack something for me. I'm not quite sure what. His latest album, Wherever You, from last year, that's nice. It's just heavily reverbed piano, quite somber, melancholy piano,
right,
which is okay. But even that, for some reason, it's the kind of thing I would ordinarily really enjoy. But for some reason, there's something to my ear that's missing from Fox's work on it. I don't know what. No. But he's a good guy.
He was on the Adam Buxton podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Not long ago. And I listened to it. It was really entertaining. He's really, really good interviewee. And I know that... Luke, who does Stone Circle Sampler, he's a big fan. He was trying to they've been doing some shows or some gatherings at the Horse Hospital in London called Concrete Atlantis, and I went to the first one. I couldn't get to this. I haven't been able to get to the last one or the one that's coming up this week, mainly because I can't fucking afford to keep going down to bloody London on the train. But he was talking about he knows someone who knows John Fox. He was trying to see if he could get something arranged for him to come to one of the Concrete Atlantis ones, but I don't know whether he ever will or not. But that would be really cool. I like John Fox. I think he's great. So.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes. Fabulous. Very good choice. I'm impressed.
Okay, good.
As always. Okay, so my second one is I've Been Blown by the Wind by Romance.
Oh, right, okay. Tell us more.
A more ambient-y
stuff
here. More ambient-y stuff.
You're having a right ambient phase, aren't you? Because I think the last episode you'd got a lot of ambient.
I just love ambient music. I really do. I'm always looking for something, ambient based, but different. And this is ambient based, very bloody different.
Okay.
I mean, this is basically so romance is no one knows. Anonymous,
another one.
Anonymous London-based ambient project, and releases on. I put myself into a fucking hole. I dug myself in a hole then with my grammar.
I can edit about 6 of those releases out to make it more intelligible.
releases.
All right, don't keep doing.
Fuck me, I've done it again. Do you know what? I started my ADHD meds and they're shit so far. Nothing's happened.
You're fucking worse.
Oh, I know. 10 milligrams, I need about 100. Fucking hell. Puts out music.
That's better.
on the record label Ecstatic. These are brilliant. Started off mainly as tapes, but have since released vinyl releases of the original tapes and more. And it's really hard to even describe it again. It's basically so one of the first ones I did was called Once Upon a Time, and basically they took loads of Celine Dion music, chopped it up, slowed it down, and made this kind of they called it vaporwave.
Okay.
I think that's the genre. Yeah. And it's fucking amazing. It's so chill, and you can't really tell that it's Celine Dion music in there.
It's a bit like that T.M. Zeitzig who did the Enya.
Yeah, the Enya one. Have you got that? Or did I tell you about that? Okay. Yeah, I've got that. Yeah, brilliant.
It's really interesting. Yeah.
So all of the romance ones are kind of like that. It's like chopped and skewed, slowed down to ambient, and like I said, vaporwave is the genre. And it's just amazing. It's so easy to just sit there and just drift along on it. Because there's no real instrumentation in there per se. It is tapes manipulated, slowed down. There's vocal samples, loops and strings, but all kind of, this is the thing with the ambient. I can't really do any fucking sing-alongs either, which is a bit of a bastard. I've got one at the end though. There's not ambient, so I can sing.
Oh, well, they're all ambient, but for the last one in this episode, are they?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So you're talking like, if you were going to compare it to anyone, it would probably be like The Caretaker mixed with Boards of Canada.
Oh right,
something like that, And the packaging's gorgeous as well. They just look. There's just something about. One of them's actually got a picture of Celine Dion with a big blue square over her face.
Oh.
And another one's got a picture of Celine Dion, but it's cut across her chin and down her body, so you can't actually see her face.
Okay.
So it's like saying this is Celine Dion, but you can't really tell it's Celine Dion.
Do you think he's waiting for the lawyers to call, or whether he's gained Celine's authority to do it?
I don't know, actually. I mean, if you didn't know, you'd never guess. I don't think it's only the fact that they've told you what they're compiling the music from.
Yeah.
And it's strange because I've just said all that, and I realise how weird that sounds. They've taken Celine Dion, chopped it up, but it really is. It's there is lots of musicality to it. Yeah. It is drifty, but there's at no point you're thinking, the fucking hell is this? It makes perfect sense as you listen to it. And there's one, I think, that they chopped up old 40s music, and that was called A Kiss Is Just a Kiss.
Okay.
A sigh is just a sigh of thunder, I imagine. But yeah, everything in there is kind of music that already exists, chopped and slowed down and What were you thinking?
I was thinking a kiss is not a kiss. It's just a kiss. I think, but
a sigh is just a sigh. Fundamental things apply as time goes by.
Yeah, I was thinking of something very different actually. I was thinking of A House Is Not a Home, which is a Burt Bacharach song.
Burt Bacharach.
That's the guy.
I was telling somebody about Nancy Sinatra, how much I love Nancy Sinatra and Lee Hazelwood records.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, and there's one with an orange cover, and I can't remember what it's called. It might just be called Lancy and Lee. And I've got about 3 or 4 copies of it because every time I see a charity shop, I buy the fucking thing. Can't help myself because I always think, well, that might be an upgrade. Typical record collector stupidity and mentality.
We've all done it.
Yeah,
my son's been gifted several albums that I've got and thought, hang on a minute, I've ordered this, I've got this already. You can have it.
Oh, I've done that several times. I did. I can't remember whether I've mentioned this before or not. I ordered the first. The second. That was the first Olivia Rodrigo record because I'm a massive fan, as I keep telling everyone. I managed to get 3 copies of that because I ordered it, then and then never got an email. So I thought, oh, maybe I didn't order it then. So I reordered it, and then at some point I'd also ordered it from Amazon. So it 3 fucking copies turned up. It's like, for God's sake.
Yeah, I did the same.
Yes.
I gave you one of them, didn't I? That Acid Mother's Temple double album.
Yes, Acid Mother's Temple.
I ordered that all excitedly, and it arrived, and I went to put it in my record case. I thought, hang on a minute, I got that already.
I've come home with records and gone, oh fuck, I got that. I found 2 copies of Fire Dances by Killing Joke the other day. Didn't know I had 2 copies of that. I hadn't even spotted it. I just filed it under Killing Joke and then pulled it. I was like, where the fuck did I do that? Old age and ADHD. They're not good. They're not.
I don't need the ADHD to do it.
Old age and just what, dementia,
possibly. You know, who knows?
Yeah. So I've been blown by the wind. Romance. I'd really recommend it. Another one I think you'd really like it. I think you get a real kick out of it, out of the way it's kind of, it just woozes along and it's like,
okay. Well, I should make a note when you send over the files and I've edited it all and I've made a note, then I'll have a listen. I'm sure you put some on the playlist, although I haven't had a chance to listen to some of the playlists recently.
No, I keep doing them. Well, I bloody do them and I still forget to listen to fucking things. I've just done the last episode. The last episode went out today, which I thought was as it turns out, it was a day late.
No worries.
But yes, that's just gone out and playlists abound.
Excellent. All right, marvellous. That was your second entry. So,
indeed, it was.
My second one is a track called Monsoon Tears. And it is by a band with the fabulous name Actionmel, the Fire Black Breech Clouts, Hides and Wagon Sheets.
Of course.
Did mention, I think, on stuff that I was listening to some episodes ago. So this is a pretty out there bunch of Texans on the French label Accuphone, and they're making some really, really interesting, absorbing music, but it is pretty much in a category all to itself. I suppose it's what you would call, or what I would call, desert scorched lo-fi apocalyptic folk music, and it's really, really wonderful.
I very much doubt I'd have called it that, but carry on.
You don't know. So this track is from their 2024 album Rawskilled, and it's essentially just a couple of guitars playing quite pensive melodies. It sounds like a pair of maudlin Latin American guitarists who are playing from within a fetid, steaming swamp, because whilst these guitars are gently playing away, there's a whole landscape, a whole soundscape of noise enmeshed with it. There are some percussive elements, there's a small bell and there's some hand drums, but it's all wrapped up in this hissing and seething and crackling. There's indistinct animal sounds that are cawing and growling, and the whole thing is not quite like that. No.
Oh, okay. Just so I chance my arm.
But the whole thing is just.
What about this?
Closer.
Yeah, awesome.
I think the whole thing is filthy, dirty, and corroded, which is very much like you in many respects. It's kind of. For me, it's the sonic manifestation of a clapboard shack in the heart of Dust Bowl America, with Russian thistle tumbling across the ravaged plains, a few hardy abandoned beasts clinging to life in the unforgiving hot breath of the wind, and it's just abandoned.
You fucking chat GPT that, didn't you?
Absolutely fucking not. But this is the music of Actionel. Putting their unique sound to one side, there are some similarities with other bands we've discussed, because Actionel, like Fetus, like Spears, they have a penchant for changing their name a bit, and they change the epithet. So they always have the Actionel at the beginning, and then they have different weird epithets. So whereas this is Actionel, the Fire Black, Breech Clouts, Hides and Wagon Sheets, they're variously been Actionel, the venereal head of glory, Actionel, the divinatory monkey and the sovereign plumed serpent, Actionel, the crazed and sun-chalked bones of the vanished herds. And their most recent release...
You do realise we're trying to keep this episode to 90 minutes. If you keep reading off those fucking names, we're going to have about an hour.
Well, their most recent album, which was only released a couple of weeks ago, called Spiritually Unemployed, they're now Actionel, the giver of illness. So it's a whole raft of different pseudo entities, and nobody knows for certain, I don't think, what Actionel means, although one commentator suggested that in Mayan it could translate to being turtle skin, though, you know, what that relevance that might have, I don't know. Also, like Goat and The Residents and others, Angelina de Poitrine or whatever they're known as, they're hidden behind masks.
Angine de Poitrine.
That's it, yeah. Although their masks are nothing quite like anything like that, because they barely look like human beings. It looks like they've covered themselves in something sticky and stood in some kind of tornado and just allowed all the sticks and debris and bones and ragged bits of cloth to stick to them. So they look like shambling piles of flotsam and jetsam. But it's...
Bit like you.
Yeah, touche. Good one. Oh dear. So, you know, the recording technique kind of informs the music they make, because certainly on Spiritually Unemployed, the new album, on the cover notes, they give quite a lengthy description of their recording process. And I think it's pretty much indicative of what they've done through all their careers, because the sound is very similar. And what they've done on this record is they set up their own studio, a makeshift studio on the US-Mexico border, and they used broken and battered traditional instruments which they left outside for weeks in the weather to uniquely shape the sound of each of them. Then they used erratic low voltage power sources to drive old reel-to-reel tape decks, so they were going at unpredictable speeds and there were fidelity fluctuations. The tape itself they buried in the dirt for days and days, and then when they got it out they ran it through sandpaper, trampled it underfoot, cut and spliced it, and it's all goes to make this wonderfully ancient esoteric sound. Despite all of that, they are very good musicians, and they liberally play with Persian and Indian and Saharan scales. So it's not structurally random, even though the sound is so damaged. And every time I hear it, I think of these monstrous, mystical, imaginary pasts. It's great. I love it. And I would highly recommend to the intrepid sonic adventurer. Not for all ears, I wouldn't think. So there you go, Monsoon Tears.
Well, I'm quite intrepid, so I'll give it a listen.
Be intrepid.
I am intrepid.
as well as being filthy, dirty and corroded.
Yes, and yeah, whatever else I am. Oh dear, yeah.
So there you go.
Excellent. Okay, I was just about to drink, but I'll stop for a second. Okay, so my number 3 is, you're going to be proud of me for this one.
Okay.
Because it's a song called, it's called Flood. by Boris.
Oh, I like Boris.
And it's an hour long.
Hey!
So, hey, woo! It does come in 4 parts, but really you have to listen to the whole thing to get it. So Boris are a Japanese band. They were formed in 1992, originally as a 4-piece, now a 3-piece, and that 3-piece are the drummer Atsuo, guitarist bassist Takeshi, and guitarist Wata. Wata is a fucking hell of a guitar player. She is awesome. Quite a diminutive little figure, but bugger me, she can play the guitar. Well, they all come in. They're all fantastic musicians. Takeshi has a double-necked guitar with a bass and a guitar, 6-string guitar on. And I think they're fantastic. I discovered them in, I think, probably the late 90s. I came across an album of theirs called Amplify Worship.
Got it.
Yes. I don't have it anymore. Stupidly, I had a fucking massive part of most of their stuff came out on CD. It was easier to get on CD than anything because Japan. And when I had a great big CD purge a few years ago because I had so many, and I sold my whole Boris collection, which was quite impressive, to be honest. And then wished I hadn't, but there you go. So Amplify Worship, I can't remember how I discovered it because it wasn't really. I mean, because it was kind of like the early stuff was a bit Sun-ish, wasn't it, with drones and stuff.
It was,
and I remember listening to it thinking, "Oh, I don't really know about this," but kind of persevered with it and really enjoyed it, and then bought so much of their stuff. And Flood came out in 2000, and as I say, is in 4 parts, and it's an hour long, and it's bonkers because it's just like they threw everything but the kitchen sink at the fucking thing. Starts off with this recurring guitar motif that goes on for about 10 minutes, and then kind of gradually gets rockier, then goes into massive drones, then quietens down with guitars, so the guitars are very, very quiet, then wafts out into this crushing heavy rock that then goes into some kind of Sun type feedbacky drone before ending up as an ambient an ambient record.
Exhausted themselves.
Absolutely amazing. I just love it. I think it's fantastic. And also, I mean, they've done drone, they've done like kind of sludge rock, they've done possibly kind of heavy metal really, and they've done hardcore punk. They've covered everything you could possibly think of in their time. They've had 2 albums with the same title, Heavy Rocks. They weren't even differentiated by Heavy Rocks 1 or Heavy Rocks 2.
Oh, right.
Just both called Heavy Rocks.
I've got Heavy Rocks, but I don't know which one it is. I didn't realise there were 2 the same.
One's got an orange cover and one's got a purple cover.
I've got the purple covered one.
Yeah, so there was another Heavy Rock. Oh, the Heavy Rock that came out in 2022 had a leopard skin cover.
Oh, right.
They did an album called Pink. That was just massive pink cover. And the words Boris Pink were cut out. So there was no actual writing, just they cut it out the cardboard itself. We have things like Amplify Worship, Absolute Ego, Drone Evil, Smile. That was more of a rocky one.
Yeah.
Attention Please. Wata's done some she's done some solo music. They've done lots and lots with Merzbow.
Yeah.
You know all this. I don't know what I'm telling you. You've probably got more Boris records these days than I have.
This is for the listeners.
Yeah. Yeah, great records. They got their own record label called, I think it's called Fangs Anal Satan.
I don't know that, actually. I've never
Fangs Anal Satan. I think that's what it is. Or it's Fangs and All Satan. But I don't know. I know it's like, where the fuck do you come out with these things? Yeah, it's Fangs Anal Satan because it's written here as 3 separate words. But they've also released a lot on Southern Lord.
Yes.
Which is the label Sun normally release or used to release their records on. There's another Japanese label called Inoxia, and they also release on Sacred Bones, and they've lots on Third Man, Jack White's label.
Jack White's label, yeah. Well, I have
in fact, they've just done a whole re-release thing, with some like severely limited reissues on not lovely kind of splattery vinyls and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, and but Flood, well worth a listen. And I mean, I don't know if you get. I know the actual ambient part at the end does feel very. It does make you think of water. It's very, I want to say aquatic sounding, but that sounds like fucking ducks or something.
Whale song.
Yeah. It's. I mean, I've got to admit, it's not my favourite Boris album.
No, what is?
Or Boris songs. I think probably Pink.
Oh, right.
And funnily enough, they're touring at the end of the year, and they're playing Pink in. Is it Pink in full, or are they playing Heavy Rocks? They're playing one of the albums in full, it's Pink 20th anniversary tour. So I'm hoping to get a ticket. I mean, they're on sale, but they haven't sold out yet. So I've got fucking money at the moment. I'm absolutely skint at the moment. Which is always a bit of a shit bag when it comes to buying gig tickets. But yeah, I think nearer the time I'll probably see if I can sort myself out a ticket and pop down and see that. But yeah, anything that Boris. I mean, the stuff with Merzbow, I'm a bit of a. Merzbow's sometimes a bit too much, even for me.
Yeah.
But the stuff with him is a bit much. But everything else, if you want to listen to a band that you don't know where they're going next, Boris, but crushingly loud. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
They did an album with Sun Zero in 2006.
They did Alter. Yes, fantastic album. Yeah. I really, really like that. That's one of my favourite of both of the band's LPs. I think it's awesome. Okay. But yeah, so that's number 3, Flood by Boris, and it's an hour long.
An hour long, excellent. Well done.
Beat that.
Well done. I won't be meeting that today, I don't think. Okay, my third one, sticking with crushingly loud, ferocious music. My number 3 is Moby. Anybody that knows of Moby will know that was
spat my
facetious.
Drink out of my keyboard. Then.
This is a track. This is a track called "A Dark Cloud Is Coming," and it's a beautiful, beautiful track. I'm sure everybody is aware of who Moby is. He is a very prolific, very talented electronic ambient dance musician who's been making albums for some decades. He first came to fame properly with his 1999 album Play, which was actually his 9th album. But what he did was he did something very commercially astute, something that he got a lot of criticism for, but he immediately licensed every single track for commercials. And ended up having his music in everybody's ear, whether you went to the cinema, whether you watched TV. It was a fantastic marketing ploy, even though he got, as I say, criticised a lot for being a sellout and being more commercially oriented and so on. But that record alone sold over 20 million copies. If anybody thinks they haven't heard his work still, he's done music for The Sopranos, for Stranger Things, the films Bourne Identity, Tomorrow Never Dies, stacks and stacks and stacks of things. And he's a deeply principled person as well. vegan, very overtly a vegan animal rights activist who not only colours that into some of his music, but he's even co-edited books that detail the unattractive facts about meat production and consumption. He's opened and owns a couple of vegan restaurants across New York and LA, and the latter, certainly all the profits of that go into animal welfare organisations. So he's a guy that really does kind of walk the talk, as they say. So this track, it's the closing track to a 2018 album called Everything Was Beautiful and Nothing Hurt. It's a really nice album, and this is the last track. As I say, it's a very laid back track with masses of space in it. There are big drums and bass that push and pull, but lots of space. The other instrumentation is as if it's been painted on a woven fabric that is that back line. Strings sweeping in the second half of the song, laying over the kind of fading refrain, Coming For Me Now, because despite the fact that it's quite sparse, there are bits of guitar, bits of piano, but there's a fabulously soulful vocal provided by Apollo Jane. And it's really, really lovely and really deep and really emotive. And she just says, I went down to the river to see if I could be saved. A dark cloud is coming for me now. I called out to you, Lord, but you never came. And that's about it, repeated in various configurations. And all of the different elements of the song seem to feel like they're on different paths. It doesn't properly feel like a single song. It works and it sounds great, but it feels like all of the different parts are kind of coming together by coincidence, because they come in and they go out and they run off and do different things. So the spine of the track keeps going, but all this other dynamic happens as things come and go. It does really make the hairs on the back of my neck stand up to listen to it, figuratively speaking. And it makes me wonder why I don't have more Moby records, because I don't have many. I have 3 or 4 albums and he's done so many. But all those I've got that I really do like. Another interesting thing about Moby, on his website, he has put thousands of pieces of instrumental music that he's composed on the website, freely available for use by anybody: creators, filmmakers, musicians, students, choreographers. He even has gone to the trouble, or one of his assistants has gone to the trouble, of organising all of these sound files by genre and by mood, and you can just go in there and take stuff. Apparently, I don't know if this is true, but apparently he's supported over 50,000 indie filmmakers and media projects since he set it up in 2005. So it's incredibly magnanimous thing to do. And I think it kind of puts definitely into a cocktail all of these claims from 1999, when he was being accused of being a commercial-oriented sellout. Well, quite obviously, the donation of his profits, the use of his music for free, demonstrate that he's got a great deal more integrity than that. And I think he's a fine man, whatever you think of his music. And for me, his music's very good, and I do need to listen to some more of it, to be honest.
I was just thinking that. I think Play is a brilliant LP.
It's a great album, yeah.
It's a great album. I think it was genius. I mean, but again, I'm the same. I've listened to. When you said The Bourne Identity, I was like, oh yeah, he did do that, yeah. And yeah, I think I really need to kind of catch up with what he's been doing since then. Yeah. But yeah, I'm quite with you on that. He played in. His music roots are in punk bands,
a lot of them are. You know, it's quite surprising how many people we talk about who are in ambient or electronica or in metal bands or whatever, and you look at their roots and they started out on the LA punk scene in '77 or something. Yeah, and that just again shows what a motivational moment in music or cultural history punk was, because it really did set in motion a whole raft of people who might never have even thought about trying, because, you know, back then it was all you've got to be polished, you've got to have good song structures.
Like you.
Indeed. Yes, let's not go there. But you had to, in those days you had to go through pernickety A&R people and departments and all of that kind of stuff. But punk just said, no, you don't need all that. You don't need years of training. You don't need to go through fucking the corporate music world. Just get up, do something. And whether the people stayed in punk or not, it is quite fascinating how many didn't and went on to forge really starry careers in other genres.
Yeah. He released a couple of punk LPs in the 2010s, didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah, he did. I was trying to remember what they were.
Where are you looking? Google or Discogs?
I'm Wikipediaing, and he did 2 punk rock inspired albums with the Void Pacific Choir.
Okay.
2016's The Systems Are Falling and more fast songs about the apocalypse.
Oh gosh.
So yeah, I did know. I in fact I vaguely remember listening to them. But yeah. Yeah, no, I like Moby. He's apparently his family were vaguely related to Herman Melville,
yes.
and that's part of the reason why he got his nickname.
I thought he'd denied that.
Well, it was partly that, and partly because he was fucking huge when he was a baby, and his dad called him Moby.
I used to work with somebody, a training facilitator, who was a spitting image of Moby. I used to call him it, much to his annoyance. But I liked annoying him. I mean, his name was Duncan, and I used to call him Duncan Donuts, which he liked even less.
That's just the obvious one, isn't it? That's just the obvious one.
Oh dear. Anyway, yes. So there we go. Everybody needs to listen to more Moby, and that's a great album if you wanted to start off somewhere. Very sophisticated, very well crafted.
Very sophisticated, just like us.
Spot on. Yes,
absolutely. Yes.
So what do you got next?
My number 4 is another band I've had before. I just can't help myself. It's called Sunshine Recorder.
I thought you was going to say it was Orange Juice.
And it's Boards of Canada.
What was the sorry, I was talking. I was expressing a joke-like comment, and you were telling me what the track title was.
It's called Sunshine Recorder. I was ignoring your joke because, as usual, it wasn't very funny.
It was a good one.
So
it was a clever one. Orange Juice. I just can't help myself, you know.
Fucking hell.
You see, you expect me to feign laughter at all your jokes.
That's because I'm all funny. You don't need to feign. You don't need to feign.
What do you think? No. Go on then. Tell us about your music.
Sunshine Recorder is from their Boards of Canada, from their LP GeoGaddy. Is that how you pronounce it? Well, funny you should mention that. I was looking because I've done a couple of Instagrams just recently, Boards of Canada, because I fucking love Boards of Canada. They're one of my favourite bands, and I know you really like them as well.
Yep.
And it just seemed appropriate to pick them at this time because their new album's just come out as well.
Yeah.
Which is fabulous. I really like it. What do you think? I know you'd ordered it as well, hadn't you?
I've got it on red vinyl with the gatefold and the booklet and the little flexi disc and everything. Yes, it's wonderful. Yeah, it's wonderful. It's actually it is on my 5 I'm listening to a lot at the moment list at the end.
It's on mine as well.
Is it?
Yes, I'm going to have to change that fucker then. I can't do the same as you. It's just GeoGaddy is probably I mean, of all of the if they've got 5 main LPs, GeoGaddy's probably my 4th favourite.
Oh right, okay.
I think. Yeah. Purely because the others are so brilliant.
Yeah.
And it's not to say it's not very good. No. I mean, it's probably you're probably going from 10 to 9.9, 9.8, 9.7 in the scoring scales.
Yeah.
Because I just absolutely adore Boards of Canada. And GeoGaddy is a brilliant LP. And I was just, because the latest one's just come out, I was just thinking about, I've done a lot of Instagramming about Boards of Canada, and it's just really cool to have a band that are so steeped in mystery as Boards of Canada are, because we all know who they are, but no one's seen them for fucking decades. Physically, they release records, and the record releases are becoming quite an event as well. I mean, this one particularly, all of a sudden you had mysterious posters come up, start appearing in various locations of the world. And as soon as people saw them, it was like, or if you knew, you knew, that's fucking Boards of Canada. There's hexagons all over them, and there's weird faces with no eyes and garish colours and that. And then lots of people who'd ordered from Bleep, commercial arm of Warp. They'd ordered T-shirts or stuff. Got these mysterious VHS videos through the mail.
Who can play those these days?
Yeah, well, I probably could. I've got a VHS player somewhere.
Oh, I threw one out.
But yeah, so and it was a real event. They had these listening parties where people go along. You get these little promo bags with a little keyring and everything, and then as soon as they got home, stuck them on eBay, selling them for 250 fucking quid.
That's bad.
It's insane. That was shitty because I really wanted one, and no one bloody gave me one. Bastards. So yeah, and then the album came out. The new album came out. It's fantastic. It's absolutely brilliant, And the thing with another thing with Boards of Canada is you can just listen to them. It's so many times, and there's always something new to hear. I'll be honest. I've played the album on. I've streamed it through Spotify. I've not played a CD, but played the vinyl.
Well, you bought the CD and the vinyl.
No, I haven't got the CD. I was going to say I haven't played the CD, but I've played the. Haven't played it through my headphones yet, which I'm looking forward to. But the first time I played it, I just listened to it. I waited up till 12 o'clock on the Thursday, so I could play it at midnight, so I could listen to it, and waited up till 1:15 to listen to it, and thought, that sounds brilliant. And listened to it again in the morning a couple of times before my vinyl turned up. The vinyl turned up, that went straight on the. So you listen to it through vinyl, and that obviously sounds slightly different to the stream. There's a bit more to pick up. But every time you listen to it, there's something, it just all gets a bit deeper and a bit deeper. And it's got that kind of standard, there's a real wonkiness to Boards of Canada. Everything just feels as if it's like slightly tilted off kilter. And it's just, and it's woozy, it's just woozy and all a bit like
it's kind of aged, isn't it? It's kind of like it's from a further past than it is. And that booklet, it's similar because it's pictures of like little girls with their eyes cut out and lots of visual noise in the pictures, just like the music. So there's music in there, but it's all, as you say, it's all just jolted as if on a slightly parallel universe, which is really nice.
Yeah, and that's been the same. I think that's been the same since since the very first records, and even the first tapes that can't get. I've kind of downloaded all the original, very very early stuff that they did,
right?
And, just for a bit of completism, like I say, Giagaddi, the visuals on Giagaddi are just amazing as well. And well, even the visuals on everything
they're all well thought out.
Yeah, on the earlier ones. I mean, I know you were just saying about the booklet in the new one. The older ones, there's that kind of blurred Polaroid-ness to some of the covers. It's like looking at when you look at old photographs, and it's just got those certain hues to them.
Yeah,
that you don't see anymore. Everything now is so bright and so realistic. It is exactly what you can see. Whereas when you looked at old photographs, it had that kind of, the colours were just like
slightly off.
Slightly off. Yeah, slightly off.
There's a camera. I was reading about it just earlier on today. Actually, there's a camera that you can buy now where, amongst the amongst the features, the options you've got when you take the picture, is you can choose the decade, and you can choose like the 70s, 60s, 50s,
Brilliant.
and it will apply a similar effect to the photographs that came out of that decade, which was quite interesting.
Yeah. Well, you can do that. I mean, if you get certain camera apps, you know, you can do it on them. You can have old grainy VHS.
Yeah.
You know, we've done that before. Done it just for a laugh with the, you know, you get all the little static lines across the bottom.
Yeah.
And like sepia tone but yeah, it is that kind of. There's a certain 60s and 70s-ness to it, and I imagine that's how those the photographs would look with with the 70s thing. Is like the old Kodak. Was it Kodak? It wasn't Kodachrome, was it? What was it?
Kodachrome.
Was it Polaroid? I can't
Kodachrome,
remember.
yeah.
But there was something. You know, there was a certain type of brand they gave to that that type of old 70s picture. Someone sent me. I remember someone. I ordered something, mail order, and there was a record label, and they always used to slip in old photograph that they'd bought in thrift stores in America. Just come across old photos, and they'd slip one in. I've got one. I found it the other day when I was looking for something completely different. That particular song on Giagadi is great. It's a great tip. It's typically Boards of Canada. I think I just picked it because I wanted to rattle on about Boards of Canada a bit more because I'm again, and and that, like I say, that new album is just so good.
It's good.
They're one of those bands where you kind of think, you get the new album comes, you think, oh, don't be shit, please don't be shit, and you kind of know it's not going to be. And this was absolutely brilliant. So.
Good choice, yeah. Good one.
Yeah, it gives me a chance to rattle on, talk bollocks for 5 minutes.
I'm sure it won't be the last time. That'll REM.
Yeah. Oh, REM, I'll pick them again next week. Yeah, there are certain bands. I think when we did Big Black last week, there were certain bands where you're so familiar with them that you can just talk about. You pick a song and just talk about different eras of that band. Like with Big Black, we talked about the early recordings and how they sounded so different. With REM, I could just wax lyrical about any decade, any label they were on, any decade they made music, any particular album. I could go on for fucking ages. There were other bands like The Cure, Mogwai, and those bands that are so close to your I was going to say close to your heart, but that sounds a bit soppy, but they're so close to them. You just know so much about them. You could just wax lyrical for hours on end.
And you do,
yes. So there you go.
No worries.
So yeah, that was again for the 27th time a Boards of Canada song made it to my playlist. So
excellent.
There you go.
My fourth, then, I've gone ambient this time because this is a track called Frost in April, and it's by Chihei Hatakeyama. And
bless you.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to fucking say that. And Off the Sky. Off the Sky being just one word. Chihei Hatakeyama. And this is a track from a 2024 album called Illuminations 3. And it's a wonderful, wonderful piece of music. Fragile washes of distant sound gently rising and falling like a warm breeze in the background. Notes from an acoustic guitar floating away like wisps of a dream. And a few single piano notes which are just kind of hinted at deep in the sways of ambient noise. Barely escapes the other instrumentation, totally submerged. And it's all dressed, as is so often the case, in the breath of warm tape hiss. Despite the title, Frost in April, it doesn't feel frosty to me at all. For me, it creates a sense
David Frost in April.
David Frost. David Frost and April Stevens, some kind of collaboration.
Hello, good evening. Welcome.
But no, this is This, for me, is a much warmer sound, a much warmer feel than the title would suggest. It kind of makes me think of being in a little rowing boat, not a rocking boat, a rowing boat in the middle of a calm waters in summer, and it's totally beguiling. Hatakeyama is an electronic artist from Tokyo who also runs the White Paddy Mountain label, on which he releases some of his own material as well as that of other artists. And he has a truly massive catalogue of records to his name. Over 70 albums he's produced and put out. And his modus operandi is to process and reprocess again guitars, pianos and vibraphones. So the instrument itself is smeared into obscurity and just becomes these layers of rich but fragile sound, which is wonderful. Like we were saying a few moments ago, this is another artist who started life in a very different way, because he was a guitar player who was in bands who were totally into Slayer and Metallica. So the degree to which he's transitioned is quite extraordinary. But alongside his solo output, he also works alongside Tomoyasu Data and Opitopi, who are similarly inclined. And on this record, he works with Off the Sky, aka Michael Jason Corder of Denver, Colorado, who also has a huge discography. Other than that, there isn't much to find out on the wibbly wobbly web about him. There's nothing much about what else he's done or who he is. But the album, it's released by Droner IVM, who's a label I've mentioned in the past, and it's an expansive collection of 24 totally brilliant pieces of ambient music, including
I'm just looking at it now. It's
got some of the masters on there: Andrew Heath, Giulio Aldanucci, Federico Moschini, Bartosz Gios and Anthena. There's some brilliant music on there, and the whole thing is free. Download it. Incredible. 3 hours almost of music. Not a bad track on it. It's well worth it if you're into downloads and you can live with music outside the physical realm.
Yes, I'm definitely going to have a listen to that. There's a couple on here. Machine Fabric are on there.
Yes.
Moss covered technology and Sealer as well. So
there's lots of quite well-known ambient artists on there.
Yes, very interesting.
Many of whom, I'd recommend albums by a lot of those outside of this record. But it's a free sampler from Droner IVM. I'm not even sure that's how you say it, whether it's Dronerism or Droner IVM. But it's a great label. I've mentioned them before. They do some wonderful releases. So no excuse for not listening to this one because it's free.
Yes, I'll definitely be having to listen to that. Looks very good. Right up my alley.
Right up your back alley.
Right up my alley, Governor.
Jamie Oliver might say. There you go. A very quick one for that, because there's not a great deal of information, but a track that needed to be presented.
Fabulous. Okay, well, my last one, how quick has that gone today? Probably not for the listeners. They're probably thinking, oh, fucking hell, let's get on with it.
There's lots to edit out anyway.
Yes. My last one is a rock record.
Rock, as in he's doing the devil sign. It's the metal sign.
It's not quite that rock, but
I think it would be.
And this is a song called Rain by The Cult.
Oh, right, okay.
I know we've done The Cult before.
We've done The Cult before, yeah.
But like I said, there's no getting away from it. We are going to start repeating ourselves.
I think you do a lot more than I do.
And I do it a lot more than you do. Yeah. I mean, every obscure fucking ambient industrial bloody noise band there is in the whole fucking world.
Not at all.
You probably just got a huge database of them, and you do a tombola right, this week we're going to have. Yeah, fucking hell. But The Cult, Rain is from the LP Love, which is my favourite Cult LP. I still play that quite regularly. It's probably the only Cult one I do play regularly. They I can't remember whether we went into detail last time we featured them, but they were
We did
originally Southern Death Cult.
Yeah.
Started in Bradford in 1983. Released a single, and then changed the lineup. And the original singer Ian Astbury joined forces with Billy Duffy, who at that time had been playing in Theatre of Hate. And from their kind of Native American leanings, started the on the trail to become rock gods, which after Dreamtime, which was their first, they did a few things as Death Cult. They just kept shortening the name to from Southern Death Cult to Death Cult to the Cult, and they're now known as Alt.
I think we said that joke. I think you used that joke last time, actually.
Well, I'm all about recycling, me. You know. I've got to look after the environment, even if it's with jokes. So Death Cult Dreamtime was kind of a rockier album than what they previously played, and then Love was when they kind of hit that formula that they stayed with for quite some time. But Love still had some elements of goth to it, I think. The next album, which was Electric, that was kind of a bit more full-on Guitar Hero. But Love still kept that kind of gothicness to it. And it's a brilliant LP. It's got bloody She Sells Sanctuary on it, for goodness sake, which I think we said last time is just an absolute classic. But Rain is kind of the centerpiece of the LP, really, track 5, and it's just here comes the rain, here it comes, and rain. Oh, I think that the album is probably their most coherent LP. I think it all fits together. It's a definite case of all killer no filler. It's track after track, and to be honest, I can't remember whether I told this story or not. After Dreamtime or after Southern Death Cult, I quite liked Death Cult, but wasn't massively strong. I think there were too many other bands going on at the time, and then someone gave me a cassette tape that they recorded a load of singles on one side, and for me, and I listened to it, and they'd left what they'd already got on the other side, and it happened to be Rain. I didn't realise. I listened to it, and I thought, that sounds familiar. I can't quite work out who that is. And it wasn't until, because She Sells Sanctuary doesn't come on till right at the end, I was like, oh, this is really, really good. And it's like, oh,
he has got a distinctive voice, though, isn't he? You kind of recognise Asprey's voice.
At one point, when Oliver Stone wanted to make the Doors film, he considered casting Ian Astbury as Jim Morrison.
Wow.
And Ian Astbury didn't like the way that Jim Morrison was portrayed. I think he thought it was probably too much on the drugs, the drug side of it,
right.
And less on the actual music front. And turned it down, and obviously Val Kilmer took it. But I think since then, in the last decade or so, he's performed with the remaining Doors, hasn't he? He performed live, singing the Doors songs.
I don't know.
Yeah, he has. I was giving you a chance, and they go, "Oh yeah."
I would never lie.
Everyone thought you were up with modern music, but
no. I think I said right for episode 1. When it comes to music trivia and what's happening in the world of music, you will be far outstripping me. I might have lots of unusual bands I listen to, but you're the one that knows all the stuff.
Well, thanks. Yes, you are, of course, right. But and Love was also when Beggars Banquet started releasing some classic LPs as box sets, and with really informative booklets.
Okay.
I mean proper thick books, and 2 or 3 CDs. They did Love was one of them, and I think they gave it. I think it was four tracks, and they absolutely went to town on what they included. You know, there was the album, there were B-sides and remixes, and then there was a whole CD of the original demos that they did, and then a whole live concert from '85 with all the songs and some of the old Death Cult ones in there as well. Yeah, and it's a great LP, and Rain is one of the best songs on there.
I wasn't ever. I preferred Southern Death Cult to any of the later iterations, but I was never a huge fan. For me, there were two bands at the same time that were similar in style and approach, and I much preferred the other one. The other one was Sex Gang Children, and I really like Sex Gang Children.
See, I was the other way around.
Yeah.
I preferred Southern Death Cult
to
Sex Gang Children. Sex Gang Children, I think the only thing I ever bought of theirs was the Sebastian
great
single, which I really liked.
Yeah.
But that Southern Death Cult. I mean, Southern Death Cult were kind of quite different at the time. You know, they were. It was very. Well, you know how much we're fans of tribal drumming. It was more that kind of thing, wasn't it? And all of the the Native American influence.
Yeah.
And then as they slowly developed into Death Cult, like I say, I kind of lost interest a little bit in them, and it wasn't until I've gone back and listened to Dreamtime since. It's a cracking LP, and like I think I said last time, I saw them do the Death Cult tour. I saw them on the Death Cult tour when they played most of Dreamtime and most of the singles from around there, and also lots and lots of tracks from Love as well.
Right.
And that was a great gig. They were absolutely on fire. And I mean, She Sells Sanctuary was, just one of the most iconic intros of all time, really, isn't it?
Yeah. I think you tested me on that one last time.
I probably did. I did, didn't I?
One of the few I got. I think, as I said, last time, I think I've seen them live in the 80s in Cambridge, I think, but I'm not 100% sure. I lost the big list that I had of all the gigs I'd been to, and I lost interest then in making a note of them anymore. And a couple of years went by, and then I found my original list, and I'd missed out the last few years. So I was very pissed off. So,
I did something very similar. I had a list up to I think the end of the 90s, and then there's a big gap, and then through obviously used to go to the Portland all the time to go and see anybody that was on, and I completely lost my list of all those as well.
That's painful. It's a painfully unusually important thing in retrospect to have lost. I rue the day I lost the original one, and then I rue the day that I stopped taking a note, and then I rue the day that I found the original again. I'd so love to have a full document of all the gigs and I went to, and all the bands and who I went with and where they were, but lost forever.
Yeah, lost forever in a happy sound. Come on, what was that?
I don't know. It was painful.
That's the Cure. It's the Cure from Faith. That's Faith, isn't it?
Oh, well, yeah. I think it's
see, now you recognise it.
Lacking the tune in that rendition, it was hard to tell.
I saw the Cure on Primavera.
Are they?
The other day, yeah, they played Primavera, and it was live on Amazon Prime.
No way.
And I sat and watched it. They were really good. It was very much a festival list. It was all the pop hits. There was nothing from Faith. There was nothing from Pornography. But still very good. And he's still. I mean, he's older than us, Robert Smith, isn't he? And
he is.
Still in fine voice. And he also came on. He's done a duet with Olivia Rodrigo on her new LP. And he came on the night after and guested with her on her. She did a surprise set apparently.
Okay.
And it sounded really good. It was a really good song as well. I'm ridiculously excited about the new Olivia Rodrigo LP. I mean, it's like, fuck me,
Yeah, it's off my radar.
Yes, I know. But yeah, it's I like a bit of pop music now and again.
Okay.
Yes, but anyway, that was that. The Rain, the Cult, and that was my last one.
Okay.
Dave, Over and out.
Dave, over and out. And my last one then is a track called Cloud Storming. Not to be confused with Kate Bush's excellent Cloud Busting. This is Cloud Storming by Carlton Melton. And Carlton Melton are a band consisting of Andy Duval on drums and guitar, Clint Golden on bass, Rich Millman on guitar and synths, and Andy Taby, I think it's pronounced, on synth and guitar. It's an odd name, Carlton Melton. I've got lots of their records. I really do like Carlton Melton, but it's an odd name. But it's the name of a real person. And apparently...
Sounds like it should be a reggae singer.
Yeah, a single person, certainly. But this is a band. Yeah. And when Millman and Duval met up with each other, they were in school together. They knew another kid, and they were at school in Delaware, and this kid's name was Carlton Melton. They thought he was a real badass, and all the other kids were in awe of him. So when they formed a band, they just thought, that sounds nice. We'll call it Carlton Melton after that guy in school, which is a bit weird, but there you go. They're stuck with it now. Unless like Spears and Fetus and Action Mel and everyone else, they change it around, but they've chosen not to. So they're from California, and they describe themselves, amongst other things, as brain surfers. And their sound ranges from noisy, propulsive, trancey guitar space jams, like on the album from 2023, Mandatory Melton, to minimalist, ethereal, drone-like meanderings like you'd find on 2016 album Aground, or 2021's album Night Pillars, or Out to Sea, the 2015 LP. And they go into even more noisy experimental workouts like the 2022 album Microwave Lens. So they have, like Gnod, I think, who I've talked about in the past, they have a style that's unique to them, but they can flex within it across a whole range of different diverse genres, just at will, whatever takes their fancy. And I think that's a real testament to the character that they put into the music, the character they impose in their music. It's really, really marvellous. And when they rock out in these heavy, semi-symphonic noise pieces of music, it really reshapes your mental state. And again, like Nod, they get into these long, trancey pieces of music. They call themselves at times country music, but that's not so much about the sound of music. It's about the fact that they compose it out in the sticks. They record in a geodesic dome in Northern California. So for those that are not aware, it's a structure built out of interlocking triangles, which has very good weight to strength ratio, but I've no idea what, if any, acoustic value it has. I've been in the Epcot Center in Florida, which is a geodesic dome, but I don't remember any acoustic kind of difference in that than there were in any other kind of shape of building. I was more interested in the little Disney animatronics and the story of communications and so on. But the Eden Project in Cornwall is a geodesic dome as well. I've never been there. Have you ever been there?
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah.
Need to go down there sometime. Certainly the one in Epcot had a TARDIS effect because it didn't look that big from the outside, but it seemed vast inside. Anyway, this track is from the 2023 LP Turn to Earth, and it's a gnarly big chug of a riffing rock song. Like all Carlton Melton tracks, it's an instrumental, there are no vocals, and it just churns along like a crowd of bikers on a sun-drenched highway, all sunglasses, chrome, beards and tattoos. It's badass music for badass people, yet they seem such a cheerful bunch. The bits and pieces that I've read in interviews and so on, they seem perfectly relaxed, perfectly amenable chaps. So the music sometimes belies just who's making it. This song collapses in complete disarray at the end, which you'll be pleased to know happens just about 5 minutes after it's begun. So unlike a great many of their musics, this is almost a radio edit.
So it's just me with the long track.
You've outdone me this time by a country mile. So there's not much to say about Carlton Melton. There's very, very little detail on their website. They have no Wikipedia site. I managed to find a few interviews with them, but there's not a great deal that's revealing in that. I do. I have 8 of their albums, which is about 50% of their catalogue, and I like them all very much indeed, despite the fact they range across all of this sonic territory. But that's it. It's another short one, I'm afraid. Great track, fabulous band, well worth checking out. But bear in mind that if you dip a toe into a random album, don't expect that to be indicative of everything that they do, because you know you can go into another album and it's a very, very different sonic adventure.
I will check them out. And we will obviously stick them on the playlist.
If they're on Spotify, I don't know.
Well, I'm sure we'll find something somewhere.
Yeah. So there you go. So that's our 10 for this time round. So it is Dave. What's been hitting your eardrums this week?
Well, this week I have mainly been listening to Inferno.
Do you say it that way in kind of honour of the Fast Show character in the
course.
show? I just wanted to make sure. I assumed you did, but I just wanted to make sure.
Yes. This week I mostly been listening to Inferno, Boards of Canada.
Their first LP in
13 years, and it is absolutely fabulous, and I love it very much. I've been listening to Run Run Pure Beauty by Frances of Delirium, which came out last week, and I'm a big fan of her as well. Going to see, she's playing, well, her and her band are playing the Portland in October, so I've got my ticket for that. I've been listening to Saltpeter album by Ruby, which was trip hop back in the late 90s. That was Leslie Rankin, formerly of Silverfish. That was her trip hop. Yeah. It's a brilliant LP. I find myself going back to that quite a lot over the last 6 months or so. I did a little segment on Instagram for it, and
I think we mentioned them in the previous episode, maybe because
quite possibly.
I think they've got a couple of tracks on the Pathological compilation, I think, and I think
Silverfish.
And I think at that time you'd mentioned these other records.
I think I did, yes.
And I thought I need to listen to some of the bits I've missed, and I never got around to it.
Worth the listen to. There's also an accompanying remix LP as well,
right.
Which that isn't on streaming, although there are a couple of remixes on there, but it's on vinyl, and it is quite fabulous. I've been listening to the soundtrack to Backrooms, which I went to see at the cinema earlier this week, and it is a fucking banging film.
Is it?
Absolutely
it's a
brilliant.
Weird concept, because I didn't know, not being online, I didn't know about this thing about yellow corridors and stuff.
I'd missed out on all the YouTube videos. But luckily, the whole concept of the movie is someone discovering them for the first time. So you kind of discover it along with them, and you're going, "What the fuck?" as well. So you don't need to have seen all of the YouTube films. But it's a great film. It's very, very eerie, very unnerving, very unsettling. Some banging jump scares.
Who did the soundtrack then?
The guy who did the film, Kane Parsons.
Did it himself?
The director.
Oh,
yeah, he's 20.
Whoa, dear.
Fucking guy's 20.
Yeah.
Just directed a film that's taking millions at the box office and does all the music as well.
I read he'd been doing some stuff on YouTube or something himself, and he got on that basis invited over to the US to make this film. I think. Well,
that was it. This was the Backrooms well, not the backstory, but this is how it all started. Right. You know, if you find them, but there is on YouTube. There is someone's compiled every single movie, every single small film in the Backrooms series. And you could just watch the whole bloody lot. I think it's about 2 hours long.
Oh, right.
But very good, and very good soundtrack. I went to see another horror movie this week with Annie called Obsession. And that's about a guy who makes a wish that the girl he likes would love him more than anything else. And that's fucking brilliant. She spent the whole of the film clutching onto my arm. It's very good. Very good film. Very good, yeah. I thoroughly recommend that as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And finally, which I think I mentioned to you earlier, Somewhere Good by Tara Clerkin Trio, which is jazzy, ambient-y, electronic, weirdy, droney, brilliance from Bristol.
Sounds good.
Very,
it's
very
from Bristol
good
as well.
LP.
It's got to be good.
They're from Bristol, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
excellent. Excellent.
So yeah, that's my 5 for the week.
Some interesting stuff in there that I need to hear. Okay.
You do.
My 5 of this week in no particular order. From 2023, an album called Black Flower Blossom by Torsten Fassbender, which is very avant-garde kind of dark techno. I've also been listening to What Time Is It Anyway, a new album from Cabaret Voltaire, which is recorded live on their recent tour just gone by. And I got a magenta vinyl signed by Mal and Chris as well, which is interesting. Next, Fragments by ex-Beak member Billy Fuller, which came out again this year. That's very interesting, very good. Got a bit of the... I don't want to make the direct comparison, but there's a bit of the Boards of Canada-ish kind of aged naivety in it. Unsophisticated aged naivety is quite nice.
Excellent.
I've been listening to an album from 2014 by a bunch of the masters of ambient. There's very few people that do ambient better than Marconi Union, and their 2014 album Weightless Ambient Transmission Volume 2 is sublime. And then, of course, as we said before, the wonderful Boards of Canada themselves and Inferno, their new double album, which is unsurprisingly superb.
Yes. We love Boards of Canada around here, don't we?
It's strange to think they've been going for so long, because I think that they have these big gaps and their release schedule is so erratic. You kind of think that they've only been around for like 6 or 7 years.
That's a bit of an understatement.
I know, it's erratic. It's strange, and it makes you wonder what they're doing in between all of that time, because they're not composing.
Absolutely,
not all that time, I'm sure. Anyway, there you go.
They've been going since late 80s.
Yes, it's certainly the early 90s at
Must
least.
Be.
That's 30 years.
Well, Music Has a Right to Chill was their first album. That was 96.
I thought it was 98.
Oh, was it? Oh, it says 96 on here. Sorry, I'm just... Oh, yes, it was. Yeah, so released in... Recorded between 95 and 97. Released in 98. Yeah.
I think that's still my favourite by just a whisker.
Yeah, Campfire Head Phase for me.
Right.
Again, by a whisker. It's like I said, Campfire Head Phase is 10 out of 10. Music Has the Right to Children is 9.9. Gia Gaddy's 9.8. It's that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's close.
It's that close between them all. Yeah,
they're nothing if not consistently good.
Yeah. Fred Deakin has an Instagram channel from Lemon Jelly, and I was kind of reminded. And also the Lemon Jelly, that first LP they did with all the circles on the front. I can't remember what it's called now.
I don't know.
It's really good. It's the compilation of their early singles.
Right.
Was released on Rough Trade. Re-released on Rough Trade as part of the Rough Trade 50s. Sold out in seconds. But it was one of those things where it was one of those things that get my goat again. As I said, the pricing of things.
Yeah.
So in this batch of albums, you had the original Pirate Material by The Streets. On double orange vinyl, $29.99.
Right, that's very, very reasonable.
Lemonjelly.ky, which is the name of the album, 2LP, and that's on tricoloured vinyl. So it's nice looking, $59.99. It's like, fuck off.
Wow.
White Stripes Elephant, double LP, red and white vinyl, split.
Yeah.
$54.99.
Wow.
But then you've got the first Sigur Rós LP.
That's good.
Get his whatever it's called. That's a 4 LP set, $74.99, which I think is pretty decent for 4 LPs.
Yeah, I suppose it's 35 quid for each of the doubles, which is a good bargain. 74. It's just the laying it out in the first place, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's just such a rip-off, and it's. But what annoys me is there's no continuity in pricing. Everything's all over. So these lemon jelly ones all sold out really, really quickly, obviously, at 60 quid. I'd love to have got one, but I haven't got 60 fucking quid. They're on eBay now. They haven't even been released yet. All on eBay for upwards of 200 quid.
Yeah.
What's the fucking point?
Well, it's just people profiteering. It's capitalism, mate.
Fucking
Capitalism.
hell. I know it is, exactly, and I hate
capitalism
it.
and greed.
I really want Rough Trade to go, fuck you, and cancel their fucking orders because they haven't gone out yet.
Some do that. I mean, I think a lot of the retailers do certainly say from the outset you're restricted to 1 or maybe 2 copies, and if you try to buy more, we'll cancel the whole lot. So,
but if you've bought it, you haven't even got it yet, and yet you've stuck it on fucking eBay as a pre-order. You know, cancel their fucking orders. Find out who they are. Cancel their orders, because that is blatant profiteering. I mean, I'm one to talk because I fucking buy and sell records all the time, but not that obviously. You know, I buy something and I'll play it. If I don't like it or get bored with it, I flog it so I can buy something else to play once, get bored with, and you know. But I would have played it. I would have, you know, it won't be sealed. I'd have played the record. It just balls my piss a bit. I hate all this profiteering, all this record store day bollocks, you know, all this, you know, and these stupid pricing. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So,
well, there's no changing.
Maybe the listeners agree. Maybe they've got some thoughts on this.
Well, there may be some listeners that are banging pre-orders up for records that aren't available on eBay and doing exactly what boils your piss, as you say.
Wankers! Stop it, you bastards! Not fair.
Yeah. Well, as I say, I mean, that is the march of neoliberal capitalist greed.
Yes, scum. Anyway. We've got to say hello, as usual, to greatest playlist ever, DJ Substance, Brooklyn Pete and Robin, not the Wonder Girl, because she doesn't bother. All that effort we went into picking her fucking name. I went into to pick her name, and she just ignored it. So that's just about typical bloody ungrateful people. Yes, if once you've listened to us, go and listen to them because they're very funny, and you know, even though they're American,
you can go and hear how it's done properly.
Yes, they're very much more professional than us. They even have as I got confused that time, thinking it was AI. It's actually, I think it's Brooklyn Pete's missus. It does the voiceover at the beginning. I thought it was a robot. So,
not a great way to make friends.
Yes. No, not really, but that's just how I roll, which is why I've got no friends. So,
oh God, yes,
right,
good.
Okay.
What are we doing next time?
Next week, I've lost my
Did we say we're
list.
doing another covers?
We were doing covers. We were doing cover versions 2
and then travel
next week, and then was it travel? Yeah. No, we did. We did travel.
Did we? No, we didn't, because you got onto trains, and then we expanded it to different modes of travel.
Yeah, we've done that though, haven't we?
When?
We did. Did we do it last week?
No.
What the fuck did we do? Oh no, we did.
Last
travel.
Week was professions.
Yeah, that's right. Covers. So travel is
travel
the week
related.
After.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking hell. That should be fun. And then and then after that we'll do after tonight albums with just one good song on in tribute to John Fox's The Garden. Being allowed that would be far too tricky. That would be far too tricky. I know they exist.
Yeah,
I know they exist.
We've done a few. We've done a few that. Well, certainly I know of. I've mentioned a handful. There was that Zunzano Agui album for which Ruby, fantastic track. The rest of it a bit meh. You know, there's been a few, but I think it would be hard to think up 5.
Yeah. Well, we got two to do now, so we'll kind of think of that. Yeah. Yeah, so that's something for you all to look forward to, and we will see you in 10 days or so.
Goodbye, have fun, be safe, be cool.
What the fuck was that? Who are you? A fucking 70s comedian?
I don't know.
Jesus Christ. I think what Jake means is...
See ya.
See you all. See you all. Bye.
Bye.